Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the LAS Lock-In Show. I'm your host, Pac Marvel, along with Macklin, as well as our special guest for today, which is Direwolves Vincent, the mid laner, the extraordinaire. How we doing today, boys?
I'm great. Great to be here once again. Gonna talk about a lot of LAS stuff. Group stage is in the books. Phase 1 of Grand Tourney has already happened. Looking for knockout stage. But yeah, we are joined by Vincent from the Direwolves, as you said. How are you today, man?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, do you want to give a brief introduction as to who you are, what your background is with the LAS before we were to get started?
I've been playing in the LAS since season 1. I didn't play preseason, but I started like the regular season 1. With the group of friends. We were just looking for a tournament. Started with the boosted bonobos, won Masters Division, won Grand Tournament that season. Season 2, we did the same thing. We just lost the Grand Tournament finals, and then they didn't feel like playing season 3, so I just looked to join a new team, join the Direwolves. Season 3, we won the Masters Division, and looking to do it again in the Grand Tournament. So.
Yeah, because you're pretty much seen as the pretty much the veteran of the league. Pretty much, I'm sure everybody knows who you are. Obviously, you play mid for these teams, but we joined in season 2 as the Verge team, so we know you from P247. So
Yeah,
you guys were in the
eliminated us.
Master. Yeah, that's right. We could not. We had a really rough game against you guys. So props to you. But yeah, I guess your team's looking to win Grand Tourney and just keep your trophy case building, I guess.
hopefully, man.
All right. So with that being said, we got our guest ready to go. We're gonna get right into the group stuff. So right off the bat, we're gonna jump into how Group A panned out. And here we see Cashed Out Gaming did secure the first seed, finishing at 3-1. RAR finished 2-2, grabbing that second seed, and unfortunately for Espionage, not able to get out of the group. They lost their first 3 games, pretty rough. They managed to get one off the back, but isn't enough to get out. What's interesting about this is that these are 2 Warriors Division teams, so literally half of the teams that they brought into Grand Tourney already making it out of Group A. Is there anything surprising here, you guys think?
I honestly had Espionage in my pick'ems coming in first. I had a lot of high hopes considering they were the Masters Division team. But honestly, when it came to RAR having the championship title from the Legends Division, they did really well, so congrats to them. But Cashed Out Gaming, I was not surprised about. I had them at second seed for my pick'ems personally, but I knew they weren't going to be shouted out of this group. I believe they were going to be doing a lot better, but they did way more than I expected. So congrats to them for getting first place.
How about you, Vincent? How are your pick'ems
Yeah,
doing for this group?
I had Espionage second in my pick'ems. But other than that, I did have Cash Out winning that group, so I'm not surprised by that. I think they're a pretty solid team. Just sad to see Espionage just go home early, you know.
Yeah, and they are our, I guess, fellow representative from the Masters division. So it's always sucks to see a team that you had so much high hopes for not make it out. I mean, when I saw that they were 0-3, I'm like, damn, like they were already eliminated at that point. So I mean, at least they finished their season with a win. There's always that. Yeah, Cashed Out Gaming looking really strong. My pick'ems personally. So I wasn't too sold on them just yet because I thought GG Sabres really handed it to them in their playoffs. But I had them finishing second. So don't think I get points for that. But I mean, they made it out. They got that first seed. That's all that matters. Those 2 teams from the Warriors are going to be looking pretty strong going into knockouts. And now Group B with Verge Gods, me and Pac, let's go, finishing in first with 3-1, getting that first seed. Super pumped about that. Followed right behind us with GT Sabres at 2-2. And unfortunately, we got to acknowledge elephant in the room. Our sister team did not make it out. Pretty unfortunate for them. I mean, in a perfect world, both of us would get out, but they did lose their game against GT Sabres. Winner of that game would move on. Loser is out of the tournament, and their season is done. And couldn't win it there. They did. I mean, at least they beat us on their way out. But Yeah, I mean, this is how I predicted the group would go. I mean, Pac and I know the memes that the Gods and Warriors have been throwing at each other, like the plane ticket meme. How I said, "Hey, I mean, you guys are gonna have fun this tournament, but I hate to say it, but I'll get you a good window seat home." I always love the plane ticket memes.
Yep, they could always sit right next to Espionage. Hopefully they share the seat.
Oh my god, our group chats were exploding with that meme. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what'd you guys think for this? Your pick'ems for this?
So with my pick'ems, I actually had GT Sabres coming out at first. They were looking really dominant given their playoff performance, as well as like previous with the preseason. They did really well. In their own regular season, they did really well.
Yeah, they didn't
And then
lose
they
a
also
game
got the
until
title.
playoffs.
Right. So I think Warriors had a pretty good fight against them. Obviously, they went 0-2 against them, but they still managed to hold their own weight. When we played up against them, it was a little bit different. We were able to secure the 2 wins. One was very dominant. The other one was unfortunate. But I also had Gods making out in second seed, but Warriors I did have making the plane ride a lot easier for them. So, yeah, honestly, congrats to the Gods. I think we did pretty well. But this is only the beginning, so we want to see what happens after this.
That's right. And obviously, being that this is the group that not only me and you were in, but also our other team, it's always pretty hard to like make predictions about teams that you're a part of or associated with because you kind of want to get that bias out of there. But you know, it's not to say that you not thinking we finished out first is bad because I was considering putting Sabres above us as well because given that they hardly dropped games, I kind of thought that they would finish first as well. But the first game we played against them was pretty convincing, and we were able to secure the first seed. I had this is my only perfect pick'em group, so I guess I can just bank off of that. But how about you, Vincent?
Yeah, glad to see you guys get first seed. That was pretty cool. I had GT Sabres getting first, so honestly, like you guys, those two teams were like really hard. Honestly, I could have flip-flopped either of them. I wasn't surprised by the Warriors finishing third. I mean, they had a really hard group. So,
Yeah.
I mean, props to them for taking a game off of you guys. I remember watching that game. That was pretty funny. We were all like freaking out in our call on our break, watching that game.
The one
But
where they beat us.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just surprised to see the Sabres go 2-2. After going 10-0, I expected a little more, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, maybe their side of the bracket will favor them when it comes to knockouts because it's do or die when it comes to knockout stage. But anyway, let's talk about Group C, the group that nobody predicted correctly. I think at the most people got one pick right. Now, you know what? I'll let Vincent start with this one, being that he's from this group.
Yeah, I want to apologize to everyone for ruining your pick'ems. I think, yeah, no one
got
had
him.
perfect pick'ems. I remember looking before, and 16 people did pick'ems, and 14 people had Direwolves getting first. So I apologize to everyone for that. Empire was just too damn good, I guess. Yeah, we have some stuff to work out.
How'd your pick'ems look for this, Steve or Pac?
So the only flip-flopped I had, as of like a lot of other people, is I had Direwolves over Empire Gaming, but as far as this group, Empire really showed up, and I was watching that game against the Direwolves. It was very back and forth, like it wasn't one-sided at all. But as soon as there was that one fight, I believe it was near Dragon, I knew that Empire was looking to stomp this out, and they did pretty well. So I just want to see how they go into their next group as far as the knockout stage. But I believe in Direwolves. They've always bounced back from this kind of stuff before, so it's nothing too surprising if they were to like make it all the way from here on out.
And as far as my pick'ems go, I got absolutely nothing right here. Obviously, because a lot of people thought Direwolves would take that first seed, but I mean, hey, it's not always about the pick'ems. They still made it out. That's all that matters. Didn't get that first seed, but getting out of groups is all that matters when it comes to this. I actually had Empire finishing last in this group. I had Chaos in second and Direwolves first. This was a huge surprise to me. Obviously, Direwolves making it out wasn't a surprise, but Empire Gaming taking first seed was pretty surprising to me. I don't know if you guys saw the interview they had with Don Lino, their support, but they clearly have a lot of synergy playing as a team. They wanted to form a team amongst all their friends, as we all do, of course. But they've been playing for, I believe he said, 6+ years, like as a team, like maybe not as an official team, but just playing the game in general. So clearly they're all on the same page when it comes to League, and so I guess from that perspective, it's not that surprising that they secured first seed. But hey, I mean they played a good game against Direwolves, and both of these teams making it out. Obviously, wasn't a huge surprise, but they're going to be two teams to definitely look out for when it comes to knockouts. And now, Group D, the final group. This one was labeled the Group of Life by a lot of people right after Draw Show. People called this the Group of Life. So my pick'ems were Apple Bottom in first, Huskers second, and Eclipse not making it out. This did turn out to be Huskers Black and Apple Bottom basically getting almost all the wins in the group. Eclipse did go winless. Huskers and Apple did each go 3-1. Huskers securing the first seed based on game time. How were your guys' pick'ems in this? Because this was honestly pretty hard to predict.
So I had it to where Huskers Black was actually not going to make it. I had Eclipse at second and Apple Bottom at first. So technically you have two first place teams. Obviously it came down to time, so they're second seed, but I believed in the 3-1 Apple Bottom boys. So I got pretty much what I was looking for. They must have just taken games off of each other as far as Huskers Black and Apple Bottom, and then just farmed free wins off of Eclipse. But that's really not how I was looking at it at the beginning when I was doing predictions. But honestly, the numbers speak for themselves, and the turnout was definitely something I didn't expect myself, but at the same time, a lot of people did. So
yep,
it's going to be fun.
What about you, Vincent?
Yeah, this was actually the only group that I got correct across the board. So
nice.
I guess I wasn't like surprised by the outcome considering I got them all right. I guess I just know the teams a little better. I'm just surprised that Eclipse didn't grab a win. I kind of expected them and Apple Bottom to fight for second, but I still did have Apple Bottom getting second seed. So yeah.
Yeah, well, what was interesting about this group is that MNG Eclipse, if you haven't been up to date with their team as a whole, but they have been having a couple roster issues. Some people have been dropping out, some people have been subbing in. So there's been a lot of chaos amongst the roster in their team. Their starting mid laner Stripes did switch to the jungle role to fulfill the 5 that they needed for the team. So what I liked about this group a lot was that I was calling this the caster against caster group because Rav obviously is the jungle. He's also a well-known caster in the league, of course. And then there's Stripes, who is also a caster. And funny enough, they were jungling against each other. So there were a lot of memes that came out of that. I got a kick out of that. There was also where I was doing my pick'ems. Stripes was in a call on the Verge Discord, and I'm like, Stripes, I'm really sorry, dude, but I was sharing my screens, and he saw that I put his team in last. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm like, prove me wrong, literally prove me wrong. I'd be happy to take the L with that, but yeah, it was funny doing that live and him seeing me put him there. But I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate to go 0-4 not winning in the Grand Tourney, but maybe we'll bounce back. We're not done with seeing Stripes, I'm sure.
For sure.
But yeah, group stage, obviously in the book, we had 8 teams make it out, 4 teams are gone. So we wanted to obviously thank Espionage Warriors and Chaos and Eclipse for attending, of course. It sucks to go out this early, but hey, you got an off season. You can watch the rest of the games from the sidelines, and a lot to take away from your season for sure. But now we're going to get into the knockout stage. Talk about that for a little bit. We got the brackets already picked we have quarterfinals on November 21st, so that is this coming Sunday. We have first seed from A, Cashed Out Gaming, go against Group C's second seed Direwolves, followed by Apple Bottom and us, the Gods, followed by the Empire Gaming facing RAR. That should be a good game. And GT Sabres facing Huskers Black. Now, where do we want to start with this? Because this is a pretty interesting bracket.
It's up to you, Vincent. Where you want to start?
All right. Well, I think the GT Sabres and Huskers Black series will be pretty interesting, considering they're both new teams to the league.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Honestly, like, just looking at the brackets, it's pretty interesting because on the top half you have all the Masters Division teams that made it out on that side, and then with one Warriors team, and then the bottom half is 3 Warriors teams and one Legends team. So it's kind of like a civil war between the divisions to see who makes it to the finals. That'll be pretty interesting too.
It would have been even crazier if Cashed Out was actually where RAR was. If it was the all Warriors side, it's like redoing playoffs in a way, because then you just see who's the real top dog of your division. But I mean, I don't really know where to start with this. I mean, if you ask me, I don't know what is more hype, the Cashed Out Direwolves matchup or the Sabres and the Huskers Black. I honestly kind of favor the Direwolves and Cashed Out, because this is a best of 3. So, you could always hope for it to go 3 games, but I really want to see Direwolves play Cashed Out, because I don't think they've ever played before, obviously in different divisions, and also in different groups. So this would be the first time playing each other within the whole league itself. So, if we want, we could go into a little bit about predictions, maybe not predict every single win and loss, but who do we think is favorited here?
Oh boy. So given their performance, I want to shine light on Empire Gaming.
Yes.
I think they might go all the way, but not all the way. I don't want to see them on the Grand Champions thing. Not yet. In the finals, I think they can make it. But the Huskers Black GT Sabres match, to go back on that, I think I'm going to favor Huskers Black on that one. Definitely going to be a really good series, along with the Cash Out Gaming and Direwolves one. That's probably going to be a close series, but I'm going to have to give it to the homeboys at M&G. And then you have Apple Bottom Boys and Gods, and we've done it twice before. We'll do it again.
Yeah, that's right. So, I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to decide. You hear this phrase a lot, the dark horse of the tournament. Now, some people say, oh, it's Huskers Black. Dark, obviously. But who do we think, and all of these 8 teams here, is probably the one that, maybe not the team that people are sleeping on, but who do you think could just go all the way to the finals and just completely tear through? Because if you ask me, I think we got to watch out for Cashed Out Gaming. So, Vincent, you might want to tell your team to get ready for these guys, because I kind of think they're going to bust out some crazy stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I think the dark horse title would be between the Cashed Out Empire and Huskers. I think they're all really good teams, and GT Sabres, of course, too. But I mean, everyone, like, they're favorites in among the Warriors teams. So I wouldn't consider them a dark horse because of that. But I think those 4 teams, like, they all have really good synergy, and they all they all just know how to, like, play with each other. I guess because I don't know, like, I can't say for all of them, but I know, like, some of them are friend groups, so not totally surprising that they all have, like, that sort of synergy, but it can be tough to play against,
Interesting enough, you named the 4 teams that are all in the Warriors division.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know? Yeah, I mean,
so no Legends, no Masters. You just think it's going to be the League of the Warriors.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, this was a new division. Obviously, last season was just Legends and the Masters going at it when it come to Grand Tourney. But with this new division, the Warriors are, I mean, every team that they've produced has been a pretty good contender. I mean, Huskers Black did start in the Masters division, but they moved over to the Warriors division to finish up their season. But if you ask me, they kind of give me the same vibe as a Warriors team would give. All season long, it's pretty much been, GT Sabres, top dog. They're, they can't lose, always winning. So when you think about it, GT Sabres beating pretty much every team in their division, but when it came to other divisions, that's when they showed a little bit of weakness, because obviously Huskers Black took a game off of them in playoffs. Cashed Out did beat them. Obviously, they're still in the same division, but we were able to beat them both times. And so, I mean, in their own division, undefeated, but when it comes to every other team, they, I think they let their guard down a little bit. So going against Huskers Black, if we're talking predictions, I will give a slight edge to Sabres. I do know Huskers Black is a formidable team, but I do think GT Sabres is going to rally behind whatever momentum they have from making it out of their group and probably take out Huskers. Going up the list, I think Empire will probably pass RAR. It might be a little close. I mean, Empire has a lot of momentum, and Don Lino, a member of the team himself, I believe he said he said we're coming for you or something like that. Like they were throwing some fire in that interview. He's hungry for the championship. So if I were to give an edge, I would give it to them. Verge Gods, Apple Bottom, ticking out of my bias, but we did beat them both times in the Masters division. Let's see. I do think we'll move on. We might drop a game, but I do think we'll close it out against them. Oh boy, Cashed Out and Direwolves. I don't even think I have a guess for that one yet. I'm not gonna say Direwolves because Vincent's here, but
I will.
This could go.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
I honestly think it's gonna be a 2-1 Direwolves in that case.
Yeah. Oh boy, gun to my head, I would say Direwolves because I just think they're an overall better team, but I can see Cashed Out taking one game, but if we're talking the whole series, I'm just gonna give a tiny edge to Direwolves, just a little bit. But Cashed Out definitely. They were memeing about it that they were a little slept on by the league, but I mean, I don't think I think they proved their point. They're a formidable team for sure. But now, who do we think could win it all? The whole thing. The hardest prediction to make. Who can win the entire team? I guess we could each nominate a team that we think would take it, or maybe a list of 2 or 3. What do you guys think?
If I were to ferment one team as the grand champion, it would be Empire Gaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to echo you on that because, they're a good team. I watch their games. They're definitely a formidable foe. What do you think, Vincent?
This is hard. I will say this is very hard.
This is a stack bracket.
I think when we're playing at our peak, the Direwolves have what it takes to win the whole thing, but I mean, all the Warriors teams are pretty solid at playing together, so I wouldn't be surprised if it were a Cashed Out Gaming Empire Gaming finals, or Cashed Out and GT Sabres. I think between Direwolves, Gods, Cashed Out, and Empire, I think those are the top 4 in my opinion. Direwolves only up there when we're playing at our best. Right now, I don't know what's happening, but
you're getting the sillies out. Getting all them sillies out.
Getting the int out of the way.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it definitely is tough. I mean, if I had to guess, well, there's more teams than last season, but I do feel like it is a little harder to predict this season than last season, if you ask me. Because we do have a new division, and obviously they're showing as a pretty big threat to take the whole thing. But I kind of mirror Vincent's picks. I can't really... I think I might want to slot in... See, I want to slot in Sabres, but the more I add to that list, the less of a meaning it is to predict a winner. So... boy. I mean, I have a lot of faith in us, the Gods, to make it to at least finals. To win the whole thing, that's another story. But I think that we could potentially make the finals. It'd be really hard. But whoever faces us... So if I'm talking about us making it to the finals, I'm going to have to choose who I think would meet us there, and it would probably have to be Empire. I think this is probably the hottest team right now. They have a lot of momentum making it first out of their group. I do think they're going to beat Raw, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cashed Out, Dire, Gods, or Empire took it. I think that's my top 4 if I had to choose. But that is the knockout stage. Now, we are going to be moving to talk a little bit about our pick'ems. We would be mistaken if we didn't talk about that at least a little bit. Not everybody submitted pick'ems, but we're going to go over the people that did. So starting from the top to the bottom, we have Triton with 33 points. Correct predictions would be perfect pick A, perfect pick B.
Perfect pick D.
Almost had D, right? Oh wait, no, that is perfect D. Didn't Apple finish?
Yep.
Oh no, Huskers finished first. That's right. Yep. Perfect pick, everything except C. Everyone got C wrong. Yeah, so a lot of people predicted, I won't go over each one in detail, but a recurring trend, obviously Direwolves finishing in first was what was on a lot of people's minds. A lot of people had either Sabres or Gods finishing in first. I noticed a lot of Cashed Out in first, and yeah, my biggest oopsie was predicting Espionage in first. That was unfortunate, but going down the list, Keyshaw, obviously coach for Direwolves, so good for him. Getting tied for first with points. We're followed by Lewis Mixed, 28 points. Espionage Yuki at 28 as well. Mojojo at 25 points. It's Sky also 25. Another 25 would be Corey. Cash Money from Cashed Out. I'm assuming the captain of Cashed Out. Followed up by 22 points. We got Espionage Shu, their 80 carry at 20 points. Our guest here, Vincent, also at 20 points. We got Mike / Gimgoon FPX. That's a cool name. 17 points. Fertilance at 17 points as well. Another 17 Decoy. Strangle Root at 14. Mr. Panzer Valari at 14 as well. I also have 14 points, and we're followed up by Pure at 9 points. And hey, we got Pac right here at 6. Hey, you know what? Hey, you could still make it up for a knockout stage. Earlier today, I did mention that.
More like knock me out stage, yeah, dude. I'm in the shitter for points. Holy moly, what an upset.
Before we get out of this, let's take a look at what you predicted, shall we?
Yeah, me? Yeah.
Okay, so.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Oh. Damn, it's okay. So a correct pick is 3 points, right? You got 3 correct, which was I think Warriors and Chaos, right?
I got Warriors, Chaos, right? Yep, that's it.
Yep, that's literally it. Yep.
I got the ticket rides home. Nice.
You got the Pick'em's ticket, the Pick'em plane ticket.
Perfect.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, also to add to that, I was told that this Thursday Pick'ems for knockout stage would be live, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Going to be a little different with knockouts teams in there, but yeah, we're excited for that. That'll be available this Thursday. And let's see, we are going to be moving on to talk about we're going to talk about tomorrow is a big patch that comes out. Obviously the LAS plays on the current patch, unlike LCS where they play, I believe, patch behind. Patch behind, right? So LAS, different league. We do play on the current patch, and tomorrow there is a massive amount of changes. There's new items. There's some new keystones, I believe. And I think the biggest thing would be the Drakes. So we could go into a little detail about that. We got time. But the main reason I bring this up is that this is pretty much the biggest change to happen during an LAS season. So the patch comes out tomorrow, so teams can get a chance to practice with it a little bit with all these new changes and items and such. But yeah, this Sunday it's going to be a little different looking Rift with these new Drakes, new items, and etc. But yeah, if you guys want to talk about a little bit about this, because I'm excited for these changes. I think they'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, the new dragons definitely was one of the big highlights when it comes to the preseason 2022. We have the Chemtech as well as Hextech uh, dragons coming in. So one of them does perform an act of which portals are spawned around as soon as, I believe, it's when the core of the soul spreads out throughout the whole map. So you're able to use bard portals. It's only a one-way thing, and then it goes on a cooldown. So you definitely want to use that to a tactical advantage, but you also want to watch out because there's no way home. But with the Chemtech, as soon as you were to get Soul, you have a Scion passive, that of which you are still able to use your abilities, just like if you played the Ruin King game mode. They had that dragon of which you were able to get as soon as you were to slay the Ruin Dragon. Same exact ordeal. It's just a Scion passive for your whole team, which is pretty nuts because it doesn't act as a GA. You slowly decay your health over time. So it's going to be a big game changer when it comes to this league, especially because a lot of these players know how to adapt around this, especially with like the new items and keystones. You're going to see a lot of the supports pop off, but you're also going to see a lot of the jungle priority. So we only want to just see until group stage or knockout stage comes along to where we see how these guys pan out.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to take away from this patch is, like you said, the dragons. I'm pretty excited for it. The Hextech and the Chemtech, they look pretty cool. I do like how they affect the map. I was talking about this with some people earlier, but I both like and dislike one thing from each of these. I'm not too sure I'm sold on the portals on the map. I think that makes the map a little too niche with, like, you know, getting away from somewhere. It's basically just a bard portal that you can't really go back on. It is a little cool. I think it's just a little cheesy, but, you know, it's exciting. It's a new change. We'll see what happens. Getting the soul from the Hextech gives you a little... It's kind of like a static shiv, lightning slow. That's kind of cool. Chemtech, it also, when it affects the rift and the terrain, it adds... what is it? It adds camouflaged zones around, like, the buffs and stuff. That, I think, is really cool. I think that's actually a pretty interesting idea. Now, the Scion passive as the soul, that's a little... that's the one thing I'm not too sold on. I think that's... I don't know. What do you think, Vincent? You like any of these changes?
It'll be really interesting, for sure, to see who like adapts to these changes better than the others. Considering this is like we're gonna be playing knockout stage with these changes. I think that Scion passive. I don't remember the Drake name. It just slips me. Yeah, Chemtech.
Yeah.
That is going to be insane. I can just imagine like killing an 80 carry.
I was literally just
but
thinking
they have
that.
the soul.
Yeah,
and
like a Tristana.
They just come back and kill like I don't even want to think about like how crazy that's gonna be, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind, honestly.
Another thing I thought of is, let's say you have a super fed member on the team that doesn't have this soul buff. Let's say he one-shots all 5 of you with whatever ult it is. Well, guess what? They're all back, and they could, I don't know, reverse ace you or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but God, is that cheesy. That is, I don't know. That is a really cheesy thing for Riot to put on a dragon. But who knows? I mean, I think I can only expect there to be more chaos from a small league like ours compared to LCS. I mean, with LCS, it's going to be a lot more calculated with, you know, how to use this buff properly. I think we're just gonna... Oh boy. In my opinion, these drakes are probably going to give a lot of fiestas, a lot of clown fiestas in our league, if you ask me. Yeah, that's with the dragons. We got some new items. We got some new mythics. We have the Crown of the Shattered Queen and Even Shroud. That's kind of cool. Okay, I guess we don't have to go into too much details about the items, but it says that they are helping to diversify build paths for all the champions, and they're trying to add... So it says Riot added 2 new mythic items for mages and tank supports. So the mythics are going to favor mage supports as well as tank supports. So that's kind of cool. Got new legendary items, Winter's Approach, Fimbulwinter, Axiom Arc, and Shadow Flame. That's kind of cool. So, won't go into too much detail about them now, but feel free to look at them in your spare time. A lot of item changes to Frostfire Gauntlet, Turbo Chem Tank. That's cool. Yeah, so preseason. See the runes. So we got a Lethal Tempo rework and Glacial Augment changes. So it seems they got rid of They replaced a rune in the inspiration tree. It's Glacial Augment, Spellbook. What was the third one?
Omnistone.
Yeah,
Omnistone, right. All right. Well, Omnistone is out. There's now a...
Thank God.
Yeah, that was, RNG is fun in a game, but when it comes to League, it just, it's...
Doesn't work.
Too weird. A little too weird. You're going to basically hope for the right rune to come at the same time. I mean, the only good part about Omnistone I can think of is maybe if you get a Predator and you're a roaming support, like, yeah, cool, whatever. It's fun, but Riot wanted to do away with that. But basically, a brief rundown of it is it says, it's First Strike. It says, attacks or abilities against an enemy champion within 0.25 seconds of entering champion combat grants 5 gold and First Strike for 3 seconds, which causes you to deal 10% extra damage against champions and granting 100%, 70% for ranged, of bonus damage dealt as gold.
That's dumb.
So, okay.
That's crazy. It's going to be like a Gangplank, Vigar, like any stacking, like one-shot champions, it's good.
New Gangplank room? Thank God. About time.
Yeah, I forget what other ones they listed, but it was like Graves or... No. Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate was a big one, too. Ones that build gold and are based around gold because his passive is the dice roll. So
right. So you're basically getting gold value in addition to it being called First Strike. You're just getting a bunch of damage in for the first strike, like literally your first attack or auto attack. So,
Yep.
It's kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how that turns out. But as far as that, there's a couple other changes we can talk about. Rift Scuttler changes. It says, let's see, just give a brief rundown. But it says Riot believes the first Rift Scuttler spawn is too impactful. I agree with that. Therefore, they are reducing its importance and resolving the encounter more quickly. So it says the first Rift Scuttler will now have 35% reduced health, grants 80% reduced XP, and has slightly reduced in size. Okay, so I'm assuming reduced in size. I'm assuming that means the vision.
Is that the aura?
Grants? It says
I don't know if that's the aura.
I'm assuming it does mean the aura, yeah. Because if it lowers the size of the character model, that doesn't really seem like it would make more sense. So,
I don't know if it's worth getting it now.
Yeah, can't you just sneak past the vision now if it's smaller? Okay.
Yeah, you would just hug the dragon pit or wherever you're at.
Well,
let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No more cheesy paths already. Yeah.
I don't have to help my jungler anymore with it. Let's go.
Perfect. There you go. Now you can just get more turret plates. Woo! Solo lanes. Woo! All right, so that's about enough of that. We're going to cover just a little bit more stuff. So we talked about the new patch, all the stuff from groups. And we do have a special announcement to make. Just let that sink in. Special announcement is All Stars is back. If you were around last season 2, we did have an All Stars match against the Legends and the Masters. So now there are 3 divisions, so it's going to be a 3-division rivalry, and how it works is that each team is going to nominate one player from their team. All of these nominated players will be in one pool, and then they will be voted on by the rest of the LAS. This is obviously going to occur sometime after Grand Tourney, I believe. So be on the lookout for details about that. But one person from each team, from each division. And then they're going to be put into a big pool where everybody gets to vote on who you want to see in this tournament. There's going to be Warriors players. There's going to be Masters players, Legends players. They're all going at it, all going to be on different teams. It's going to be really exciting to see. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm lucky enough to get voted in, I think that would be really cool. But even if I'm not, I still think it would be fun to watch. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen it before, and it was really enjoyable. I'm not too sure if we had any Verge members in there from last season, but
it was just me and you.
You and I were in it?
Yeah, it was a little different
okay.
because there were only 2 divisions, but the way it worked last season was it was a first come first serve basis where we made a Discord channel, a text channel where you put your name, your role, your team, and then I think your division.
Right.
And
You're right.
If I was already in, no one else from my team or division, I think, well, no, not division. I think it was based on if they prioritized one player per team, but it was still first come first serve. But when we needed a few more players, they kind of allowed more players from different teams to be in it. So Pac and I were a part of the Legends team. We kind of got clapped a little bit, if I remember correctly. I think it was a little close in the beginning, good early game, but then I think we just got rolled. So, it happens. It was still fun, but yeah, super exciting. All Stars is back, going to be a lot of fun. This is going to occur after Grand Tourney, obviously, so be on the lookout for that. The final days for Grand Tourney would be, I believe, mid-December.
The 12th.
The 12th, yeah. So the 12th, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be the 19th. I would assume so. But obviously, follow the Discord, be up to date on all that stuff. You will receive an update about that in the announcements. But yeah. Oh, and we could also wrap up the show by talking about season 4, which will occur next year. So nice little 2-month off season about. So season 4 will be kicking off February with preseason. As always, preseason will be 2 weeks, single elim, only on the Sundays, and there will be a 16-team cap. So if my memory serves me right, there are going to be a lot more teams in season 4. So if you want to be in this preseason tournament, definitely get signed up when that is announced on the Discord. But that should be exciting. Season 4, it kind of seems like all these seasons are going pretty fast, if you ask me.
Yeah, but they're only getting better as they go, to be honest. So
yes.
Season 4 is going to be way better than Season 3. And Season 3 was a banger, to be honest. In my opinion, it was pretty freaking awesome.
Right,
but we still have knockout stage to go through, all-star games, and preseason for Season 4. So we only can hope what's in store for Season 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ever-growing league. Love to be a part of LAS. It's we got something special, We're like one big family that likes to play League. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited for season 4. What do you think, Vincent? You still going to be sticking around?
Oh yeah, for sure. As long as I don't hit diamond, I'll be here.
Yeah. So
you're right.
Yep. No diamond free. It's either diamond and go for challenger or stick around with the boys.
Exactly.
The low elo boys.
We love the boys. Big off.
Yeah.
Big pop off.
Really, really fun episode. We are going to wrap it up there. Thank you again, Vincent, for joining us. This was, as always, a fun episode. They just keep getting better and better. Thank you all for watching. This has been episode 6. This will air on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So be on the lookout for that. Go watch it. Go comment. Go like. Go say stuff in the chat. Go do whatever you want. You know what? Just watch it. It's gonna be good. But we will return this Sunday for knockouts, so be there for that. Be there for be ready to submit your pick'ems on this Thursday for the knockout stage. But with that said, that's all we have. So get out of here and be ready to watch this premiere tomorrow. We will also see you Sunday. Goodbye.
Peace out.
Get out of here.